Welcome back, everybody. I'm Edward Bilder, and today's video will focus on the housing crisis and how the upcoming market condition over the next year or two will affect the cost of housing prices. We are going to focus on today's video. We're going to connect many things in the economy like the housing crisis with inflation and supply chain issues and how the market condition over the next year will affect the cost of real estate for new home buyers and for real estate investors seeking to get into the games of either long-term leasing or short-term rental games like Airbnb and VBRO. Now, I'm not in my studio today because I'm actually out on the road. I'm actually staying in one of my short-term rentals, one of my B&Bs, because I'm out trying to acquire more properties. That would explain why I have this headset in, because it's very echoey in this room and this is the best microphone I have right now. You might also hear a dog in the background. Now, I've had a lot of recent questions come in from my partners on what my overall strategy looks like for the upcoming year. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share this strategy with all the viewers out there, whether you're in the real estate game or you're out there trying to seek and buy a new house today, or you want to get into the real estate game through short-term rentals like Airbnb and VBRO. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply sharing my perspective on what I'm doing in this current market. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe to the channel to get your daily updates on small business and the economy. And remember, it's important to share these videos, especially if you're out there in the real estate game investing, or you're considering real estate, or maybe just wanting to buy a house for the first time. And if you'd like to learn how I do this strategy, you could rush up to the description right now and grab my crash course on Airbnb, which teaches you how to get into this real estate game as well and find passive revenue showing up in your bank accounts each and every morning. It just continues to appear over and over again. That crash course is on a mega sale right now, found in the description, because I want to have as many people have access to this as possible so they can start changing their lives today. And if you'd like to learn how you could partner with me and my current B&Bs, find me on Instagram and ask about my Zoom calls. Okay, I want to start the focus with how we got here and why it's important to all investors out there today, because this may sway your focus. Instead of buying the dip all the time, you may want to consider getting into real estate. So let's begin with how we got in this position in the first place. Now, it's no question that the cost of real estate prices have significantly gone up in 2020 and 2021, which leads to a lot of big questions of what are real estate investors doing right now aside from the overall sell, right? Because you could sell big in this current market and sell for over the current market values, right? Sell is a big technique right now, but there are many real estate investors that are still shopping for deals and, like myself, trying to add to our portfolios for our short-term rental game, where the majority of my cash flow comes from, because I want to buy right now. So how did we get here? Well, pandemic brought several drivers to the increase in prices of real estate. The eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance definitely reduced the amount of inventory of housing found on the market. Naturally, if you could not evict anybody and you could not pay your mortgage, therefore the banks could not foreclose on you, and there was a shortage of inventory for property investors on the market. And another big contributing factor to this reduction of inventory is the new construction builds. We are seeing a limited of new construction right now due to supply chain issues and labor shortages, all right? This has definitely dropped the amount of inventory that is found right now on the market. So this created the perfect scenario for prices to go up significantly. Now imagine for a moment that if supply goes down, the inventory drops, but you have a lot of real estate investors out there that are saying, I'm not just going to quit the game. If I can't go and buy foreclosures, I have to figure out a way to buy properties. So that demand stayed high through all of this time, and prices did go up. And some might say that low interest rates were a contributing factor to why the prices have gone up. However, I say nah. Interest rates were pretty low to begin with. They did drop a little bit, but not enough to be significant to drive us up, in some cases 20% across the board. Okay, so what I would say happened is that the cash deals started to battle with the mortgage deals and the low interest rates, because cash deals were allowed to waive contingencies, and it was really hard to compete with that against a traditional mortgage for those out there seeking a home for the first time. I mean, I could simply show up to a deal and say, hey, I'd like to close in 5 days, waive all the contingencies, and I mean, when can you be out of the property, right? I mean, it was that simple. So the cash buyers definitely made it simple for the sellers to simply say, I don't have to do anything else and you're going to pay me over market value for my house. Okay, I could be out in 15 days. Does that work for you? So a big question comes out, and that is, will this continue to happen as we head into 2022? There are new conditions that are affecting the overall cost of the market, the overall cost of real estate. Now, new builds, new constructions will still continue to face issues because we are still seeing significant supply chain issues. In fact, there were record numbers of ships, 72 to be exact, were sitting off the LA port in Long Beach, waiting to be offloaded. I mean, these ships can sit there now for 8 weeks before they're offloaded, thousands and thousands of containers. So supply chain is definitely affecting the overall new construction builds. And of course, labor shortages are a real problem. Not many students coming out of high school and college right now are saying that they want to go out into the labor market for construction. They would rather sit and work sales jobs or work some kind of marketing job. So really no major changes here. This will really only affect those short-term rental destinations that are custom built houses where you could be in an A-frame, laying in a king-size bed and staring at the stars all at the same time. This would definitely affect new custom construction builds like that. However, more inventory will start to hit the market as the eviction crisis is starting to rise. That eviction moratorium has ended and foreclosures are starting to rise because mortgage forbearance is no longer a thing, right? But will this be enough to affect appreciation and essentially make it go down? I say no, because we still need new construction houses to meet the overall current demand. Normally prices would start to go up, but we're seeing a recent flattening here in the market of sales. So nothing is really normal right now, all right? So where are we actually heading with the overall cost of real estate? I say my opinion is that real estate will start to go down. And if you look historically back, the Fed has just announced that they will start tapering. Now, this video is not going to explain to you what tapering means, but the result of tapering will be a rise in interest rates. That rise in interest rates will result in the price of housing to be adjusted to lower values so it is more affordable to the average home buyer, okay? Now, we will still see some battles between the cash deals and the mortgage deals as we're transitioning through this tapering period, because now more than ever, there are more cash buyers out there because they just sold their way overpriced houses, okay? They will be able to bring more cash to the upfront negotiations, and there will still be some battling here going on, all right? So what does this actually mean to the current rental market? We're going to talk about the long-term rental market and then next the short-term rental market, because right now there is a major push towards renting, all right? There are more people being evicted, and there are many individuals right now who sold their homes at a very overpriced value that are just going out and renting a property and holding out until prices start to come down to go out and purchase a new property, or until the supply chain issues catch up to go out and build a new property, all right? So for the traditional 12-month lease, the real estate investors will still see some returns here. Now, naturally, they may have paid more money for the price of the property, but as more renters are entering the market, they can naturally charge a bit more for that demand, right? So the upfront investment minus your monthly expenses between your mortgage and anything else you have tied up in expenses over 12 months will average to a cash flow of about $300 to $400 per month. Does that excite you? It doesn't necessarily excite me because I'm in the short-term rental game, and there is a much bigger difference between the return on investment between the two of them, all right? To calculate profit for the short-term rental game, you take your upfront investment and you balance out the price of the door. This is a nightly door rental, and the occupancy throughout the year for that particular region. Now, if the region is saturated or non-so saturated, it will affect your overall occupancy. So you put a little fudge factor in there. But overall resulting profits for the real estate investor in this type of model we'll see, which is often 10x of the traditional single family rental, where that 12-month lease comes in. The average cash flows for the short-term rental game that I'm in is averaging around $3,000 to $4,000 per month. And if you're actually really good at this game, you could see $8,000 to $10,000 per month, which I'm hitting regularly. So it does help to be good at this game. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but to the new investor, I say get yourself into the game and start today. Bringing cash to the table is important, but it's not always the key roadmap to success, because I actually started my journey with a $50 bill before I built this empire, okay? So if you'd like to learn my strategy on how I got here today, you could check out my crash course found in the description. It's on Airbnb, and it teaches you how you could get into the real estate game with a $50 bill in your hand, cash flow in 3 business days through Airbnb, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. And when you want to scale this process up, you simply repeat the process over and over again and scale and grow to as large as you wish. That course right now is on a mega sale found in the description right now. Rush up there and grab it while the sale still lasts. I would like to have as many people have access to this as possible so you can start changing your lives today, especially with the uncertainty coming up in the economy in the very near future. It's important to get started right now. Remember, if you'd like to learn how you could partner with me in my current B&Bs, find me on Instagram and ask about my Zoom calls Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank you so much for viewing another video today. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel before you leave, and turn on those notification bells so you get your updates daily on small business and the economy and much, much more. I wish you guys all the best, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.